Good morning, everyone. Friends and families, please turn your attention to the back of the amphitheater and welcome the amazing class of 2026.
Welcome to Albany Law School's 175th Commencement Ceremony, and congratulations to the class of 2026. I am Dan Grossman, Chair of the Board of Trustees. It is a pleasure to welcome you all here today. I would now like to invite Chloe Metcalf, class of 2027, to perform our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Chloe. What a wonderful way to start things off. Please, everybody, be seated. Good morning and welcome, families, friends, and soon-to-be graduates of Albany Law School. It is my honor to open the proceedings today. As chair of the Albany Law School Board of Trustees, I welcome you on behalf of the trustees, faculty, administration, and students to the 175th Commencement of Albany Law School. Before we start, I would like to recognize the legacy families here today. Albany Law alumni and alumni who have a child, grandchild, sibling, or other relative graduating today. You have put your trust in Albany Law School again and again. We appreciate your commitment and support. And of course, we are honored today to have the Honorable Rowan D. Wilson as our commencement speaker. It is a real pleasure to be with you all as we celebrate the accomplishments of the graduating class of 2026 and to share the success with the family and friends who have encouraged and supported you along the way. It's taken years of hard work for you to get to this moment. You've mastered more than law school. You've developed skills and character that will serve you for a lifetime. I remember distinctly crossing the same stage as a graduate in 1978, and trust me, so will you all. Savor the moment. You have earned it. Congratulations to you all, and best wishes for success in all that you pursue. It is now my pleasure to introduce our 19th President and Dean, Cinnamon Carlarne.
Good morning, everyone. It's an honor and it's really a joy to be here with you today in this beautiful setting to celebrate the remarkable accomplishments of our graduating students and to celebrate the fact that this incredible group of students are about to become our next generation of lawyers and leaders. Now, before I continue, I do want to take just one moment to say a very deep and sincere thank you to all of the Albany Law staff that made today's event possible and all of its beauty and grandeur. So thank you. So this year's commencement is especially meaningful for two reasons. First, on a personal note, this graduating class, the class of 2026, is the first class of graduates that I have been with from the beginning. We began our journey at Albany Law together in the summer of 2023, and I've had the joy of watching each of you learn, evolve, and succeed. Having been with you from the beginning, I know how exceptional you are in every way, how hard you've worked, how much leadership you've shown, how much community you have built, how many small and large victories you've accomplished, how much heart you have put into everything that you do. And I am so proud of each of you and so honored to have been there with you for every step of your journey. I couldn't be more confident in who you are as humans, who you are as lawyers, and how much you will contribute to our society. Now, the second reason why today's commencement is especially meaningful is that it marks the 175th commencement of Albany Law School as we celebrate our 175th anniversary. That's 175 years of excellence in legal education, 175 years of educating great lawyers and leaders, 175 years of evolving as an institution rooted in a deep commitment to advancing the rule of law as the foundation for a robust, justice-oriented democracy. As we celebrate 175 years of growth, evolution, and excellence, we have centered our celebrations and our vision for the future around Albany Law School's commitment to educating lawyers who are ready to practice, ready to serve, and ready to lead. This commitment to practice, service, and leadership provides the foundation for my message to you today. So to begin, today we celebrate your commencement, confident that you are ready to practice. Now, ready to practice does not mean that you know everything you need to know about being an effective and a just lawyer. That is the work of a full career, and the best lawyers will be learning and perfecting their craft across the entire arc of their career. But today, as you walk across this stage, I want to remind each of you that you arrive here with exceptional skills, knowledge, and experience. Over the course of your law school careers, you participated in different classes, clinics, internships, clerkships, journals, and other activities. Some of you did all of those, because I saw you there. But each of you, in your own ways and driven by your own ambitions, is ready to practice. You have the skills, the drive, the determination, and the support to practice your craft and to do so in a way that advances not only your own goals, but also the collective goal of ensuring the integrity of the rule of law. And this commitment to effective practice designed to advance the rule of law is central to what it means to be a successful Albany Law lawyer. Last year, I had the privilege of speaking at the unveiling of a historical marker honoring Judge James Campbell Matthews, Albany Law School class of 1870. Judge Matthews, as many of you know, was the first African-American graduate of Albany Law and New York's first Black judge. And through much of his work across his career, he helped lead to the desegregation of public schools. Now, through his effective advocacy, in that case, among others, he really changed the course of life and love and the rule of law in society. And his practice, like yours will be, blended skill, learning, commitment, and passion. To practice is to effect change. You now have not only the skills, but also the opportunity to wield that power and to engage in your practice intentionally and with wisdom and humility. Now, second, you are ready to serve, and we believe in your ability to be powerful public servants. Service is woven into the fabric of Albany Law. It shapes how we understand our role as lawyers, leaders, and citizens. Now, during your time at Albany Law, each of you has already demonstrated a commitment to service and to embracing the service opportunities and obligations that come with being a lawyer. The class of 2026 is on its way, we're still counting, we'll let you know the final number, but on its way to completing more than 50,000 hours of public service. That is a remarkable achievement. So this extraordinary achievement really reflects your understanding that the rule of law is only as strong as our commitment to ensuring that every person, regardless of their means, has access to justice. So wherever your career leads you, remember that every aspect of your work and engagement has ripple effects in the communities of which you are a part. Your work shapes lives, it shapes communities, and it shapes institutions. And looking to one of our greatest public servants, in 1941, U.S. Supreme Court Justice Robert H. Jackson, Albany Law, class of 1912, addressed Albany Law graduates at this moment, at commencement, and at his time it was a moment of great uncertainty. His words of hope and service resonate just as strongly today. He said, "You must have the eyes to see the world that lies beyond these difficult times, a world in which nothing, absolutely nothing, will be impossible of achievement, a world in which there will flourish the art of living peaceably and comfortably together in a society of law and dignity." Justice Jackson urged those graduates, as I urge you today, never to lose faith that the law can help build that better world, and that your work and service is an essential part of that. So today, as you embark on your legal careers, I challenge you to embrace the audacity of hope, the importance of courage, and the power of service for the greater good. Now, third and finally, leadership. I can say with great confidence, because I know you all, you are ready to lead. You are our next generation of great lawyer leaders. Both Judge Matthews and Justice Jackson exemplify the kind of justice-oriented leadership that defines Albany Law's mission and legacy. As they demonstrated through their actions, leadership is not about title or position. It is about integrity, courage, and perseverance. Over your legal education, each of you has begun to carve out your own path to leadership. You've led in classrooms, in moot court, in student organizations, in your jobs, in your communities, and also in your support for one another. The world you are entering needs you to embrace your role as leaders because you have chosen a profession that demands courage. The courage to stand in the gap between what the law says or doesn't say and what justice requires, and to never stop working to close that gap. Because when the law is wielded not as a weapon of the powerful, but as a shield for the powerless and a tool to give voice to the voiceless, that is where justice will be found. This is your legacy as an Albany Law lawyer. Great leaders have paved the way for you, including Judge Matthew and Justice Jackson, as well as one of Albany Law's trailblazers, Kate Stoneman, class of 1898. Kate Stoneman was, of course, the first woman to be admitted to the New York State Bar. And when I say admitted, I mean she fought to be admitted to open the doorway for herself and for others. So after passing the bar exam in 1885, Kate Stoneman applied for admission to the New York State Bar, only to have her application denied because she was a woman. Instead of backing down, she walked into the Capitol and successfully advocated for legislation allowing all qualified applicants, regardless of gender or race, to be admitted to the bar. Her leadership in that moment and across her career really exemplifies the integrity and courage and perseverance, and also, just to be frank, pure brilliance that we see in our Albany Law leaders. Years later, reflecting on her career, she said, "The present day presents greater opportunity than ever before for women. They are succeeding and will go on in their accomplishments. My message is to younger women. They too must take their opportunities as they come. Always there will be opportunities to be had." Her message resonates loudly today. Embrace the opportunities that you have. Also, remain undaunted by the opportunities that you must fight for. There will be doors that open wide for you, and there will be doors that do not open easily. But you are Albany Law graduates. You are Kate Stoneman's heirs, and you will keep pushing doors open and fighting for the change you want to see in the world. Remember, leadership is not the absence of obstacles. It is the decision to confront every barrier with courage and persistence, and to keep moving, keep building, keep believing that justice is worth the fight. And you have many people who have and will support you along the way, and we should take a moment to acknowledge and thank them. So today, as you reflect on how far you've come since that first day as first-year students, do you remember that day? It was a while ago, but I'm sure it was clear for many of you. We also want to acknowledge with deep gratitude all of the people who've helped you get here today, your family and friends who have lent their strength and support, provided encouragement, probably listened to a lot of your hypotheticals and exam woes, and supported you throughout your law school journey. No matter who you are, this is a journey, a challenging journey that's filled with inevitable ups and downs. None of us can do it alone. So I do want to take a moment and extend our thanks and our appreciation to all of the amazing family and friends who are here today and who couldn't be here today, but who've supported you along the way. Now, finally, I want to share one final message from another one of our Albany Law's leaders, someone who epitomizes excellence in practice, service, and leadership. Now, unlike our other legal giants celebrated today, this Albany Law legend is actually sitting here on the stage with us today. Albany Law trustee and presiding justice of the State of New York Supreme Court Appellate Division, 3rd Judicial Department, Justice Elizabeth Gary, class of 1990. I warned her I was going to do this. So, in addressing an audience of lawyers recently, Justice Gary declared that without the rule of law, there is no American dream. This message, in all its remarkable, beautiful simplicity, epitomizes a profound truth. The rule of law is the cornerstone of our democracy, and advancing and defending the rule of law is essential to our commitment to justice for all, which is a foundational American idea rooted in the Declaration of Independence. And you, this incredible group of future lawyers before us, are about to become our next generation of lawyers and leaders, the shapers and the defenders of the rule of law, the voices for the voiceless, the advocates for justice for all. I cannot imagine a better group to be doing this work. So congratulations to all of today's graduates. Congratulations also to all of our pro bono scholars who graduated in December, and to all of the students who have recently passed the bar, and for all of you who will soon be preparing to pass the bar. To each of you, we are proud to call you part of the Albany Law community, and we cannot wait to celebrate and support all of the good work that you will do. Okay, so it's now an Albany Law School tradition to honor some of the people who make a difference every day in the lives of our students, our phenomenal faculty, right behind me. So each year, Albany Law School gives 3 separate awards to recognize outstanding faculty for their contribution in each of the following award categories: teaching, scholarship, and service. These honors were awarded at a special dinner last night. Unfortunately, our winners for teaching, Professor Caitlin Lewis, and for scholarship, Professor Nina Farnia, couldn't be here with us today. However, I'm very pleased that our award winner for excellence in service was able to join us today. The award for excellence in service is something that we take very seriously at Albany Law School, where we are deeply committed, as you heard, to service and to leadership. We have many faculty who excel in this realm, but the scope of this professor's service to the law school and community is exceptionally broad and deep. The career of this year's awardee reflects exactly the kind of sustained and meaningful service this award is intended to recognize. Over more than 4 decades, including 34 years at Albany Law School, he's made an extraordinary impact through his clinical teaching, mentorship, and institutional leadership. As director of the AIDS Law Clinic and later the Health Law Clinic, he built and sustained a program that provided critical legal services to individuals living with chronic medical conditions and disabilities, while also creating transformative learning opportunities for our students. Under his leadership, the clinic became both a vital community resource and one of Albany Law's signature experiential opportunities. He's also mentored and guided hundreds of students, including many here today, helping them develop not only practical legal skills, but also a deep commitment to professionalism and to service. Through his years coaching Albany Law's client counseling teams, he further shaped generations of thoughtful and compassionate students and attorneys. So please join me in congratulating the recipient of this year's Faculty Award for Excellence in Service, the wonderful Professor Joe Connors. So please join me once again in congratulating all of our Faculty Award winners. It is now my great honor to introduce this year's commencement speaker, the Honorable Rowan D. Wilson, Chief Judge of the State of New York and New York Court of Appeals. Chief Judge Wilson's career reflects an extraordinary commitment to law, to public service, and to justice. Born in Pomona, California, and raised in Berkeley, he earned his undergraduate degree from Harvard College and his law degree from Harvard Law School before beginning his legal career as a law clerk to the Honorable James R. Browning, Chief Judge of the United States Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit. He then joined Cravath, Swain, and Moore in New York City, where he built a distinguished legal career and became a partner in 1991. Over the course of more than 3 decades in practice, he handled a wide range of complex matters spanning antitrust, intellectual property, security litigation, labor and employment, civil rights, and First Amendment law, while also maintaining a strong commitment to pro bono service and nonprofit leadership. In 2017, Chief Judge Wilson was nominated by Governor Andrew Cuomo and confirmed by the New York State Senate to serve as an Associate Judge of the Court of Appeals. In 2023, he was nominated by Governor Kathy Hochul and confirmed as Chief Judge of the Court of Appeals in the state of New York. Now, beyond his extraordinary professional accomplishments, Chief Judge Wilson has also been a great friend to Albany Law School. Over the years, he has generously shared his time and insight with our students and community, and we are deeply grateful that he is with us again today for this very special occasion, our 175th commencement. Graduates, today you join a profession dedicated to the rule of law, public service, and leadership. There are few people better suited to speak to those responsibilities and opportunities than Chief Judge Wilson. Please join me in warmly welcoming Chief Judge Rowan D. Wilson.
Good afternoon, Dean Carlarne, Board Chair Grossman, members of the Board of Trustees, faculty and staff, family and friends, and most importantly of all, members of the graduating class of Albany Law School 2026. Thank you for all of you for inviting me and giving me the tremendous honor of addressing you on this very special occasion, Albany Law School's 175th anniversary. There was a large print version of my remarks on the table, and I was thankful that it was removed for the following reason. My youngest daughter, who's now 15, periodically has said, "Dad, you're old." And I said, "Yeah, you're right, I'm old." But I don't want to actually admit that to myself. So I'm using a smaller print version, not because I should, but because I don't want to give in to the idea that I'm old. All of you are young, and you shouldn't give in to the idea that just because you're young, you can't do important things. And I think you will see some overlap between your dean's remarks and my remarks today. I do hope, though, when I'm genuinely old, for the 200th anniversary of the law school, that you invite me back here as an observer at least, and I fully expect that one of these graduates, one of you graduates, may that day be the commencement speaker, perhaps as a member of the State Assembly or Senate, perhaps as a judge or a mayor, and I look forward to seeing what all of you do over the next 25 years until my return for commencement then. The histories of your law school and our state are intertwined, and among all the law schools in New York State, yours is the one with the greatest opportunity to influence and shape the law for New Yorkers, because graduates of Albany Law School are plentiful in every legal position within the unified court system, including judgeships. I and all New Yorkers are counting on you to make the most of that opportunity. When you give me a meaningful anniversary like 175 years or 200 years or something like that, then my natural tendency is to delve into history, so you're going to have to bear with me for a while. I'm starting way back in 1856, 170 years ago. George Van Santvoord, who was a Troy attorney and a state assemblyman, delivered Albany Law School's commencement address. His speech was 37 pages long and was reported to have lasted a good hour or two, and was on the topic of the study of law as a science, tracing the development of civil law from Cato in ancient Rome to Joseph's story. 74 years later, his son, Seymour Van Santvoord, gave a 6-page address to the class of 1928. And although I did prepare a 2-hour rebuttal to the elder Van Santvoord, which I titled The Study of Law as an Art, I thought the better of it, and I'm sure you'll be relieved to hear that my remarks today are closer in length to those of the younger Van Santvoord. Albany Law, as you know, is the oldest continuously operating law school in New York State and is the oldest independent law school in the nation. When it opened its doors in 1851, 23 men enrolled. The school had no endowment. It was run out of rented rooms, and it depended on tuition to operate, and you may be a little dismayed to hear that the tuition was $40 per student per term. Part of the reason that I drafted a lengthy dissertation on the study of law as an art is that the elder Van Santvoord, I think, missed a part of this school's mission by focusing only on law as a science. 3 Union College graduates co-founded Albany Law School. At the time, most aspiring lawyers in New York were trained under an apprenticeship model, not in a school, but the 3 founders, Ira Harris, Amasa Parker, and Amos Dean, sought to formalize the study of law in a school setting. They sought to teach, in their words, the various branches of law both as a science and as an art, which at the time meant maintaining a focus not only on learning legal theories in the abstract, as was the focus at Harvard Law School, but also on the workaday realities of how the practice of law shapes society, a fitting curriculum for a school situated within a city that is the seat of all 3 branches of New York State government. The historical context in which they formed Albany Law School explains why their new approach was vitally important. Just a handful of years before Albany Law School opened, the New York State Constitution of 1846, which was our state's 3rd constitution and survives to this day, established the court on which I sit, the New York State Court of Appeals. Albany's Law School's co-founder, Ira Harris, also served as one of the delegates to the 1846 Constitutional Convention. Consistent with the vision that Harris had in forming Albany Law School to meld legal theory with the practical effects of the law on people, the Constitution of 1846 is widely recognized by scholars as the People's Constitution because it struck an all-time high of popular sovereignty in the state. So our 2 institutions, your school and my court, share the same historical moment in which they were founded, as well as at their location in our state's capital, but they are also bound by much more. Together, I'd like to tell you a little about the special relationship that Albany Law School and the Court of Appeals have had since their creation, and both the obligation and the opportunity that present themselves to each of you as you begin your legal careers. The world that early Albany Law School graduates entered, and with which the early Court of Appeals jurists grappled, was the most tumultuous time in our country's history. National tensions over slavery had just been infused with new intensity over the question of whether slavery would be permitted in the Western territories that the United States had acquired at the end of the Mexican-American War. To diffuse deepening divisions, Congress enacted a series of statutes known collectively as the Compromise of 1850, which included a strengthened Fugitive Slave Act requiring federal officials in all states, even New York, to return enslaved people who escaped to their enslavers. Both the Court of Appeals and Albany Law School weighed in. 3 years after the United States Supreme Court decided Dred Scott, which contended that enslaved human beings were not persons in the eyes of the law, but rather chattel property, and therefore had no rights, the New York State Court of Appeals decided a case called Lemon v. People. The court's decision freed 8 enslaved people, 6 children and 2 women, brought from Virginia to New York by their enslaver while they were traveling to Texas. The Lemon case rejected the bulk of Dred Scott as dicta, cleverly evaded the Fugitive Slave Act, and solidified New York State status as a free state. A few months after the Court of Appeals decided the Lemon case, the Southern states formed the Confederacy and seceded, citing the Lemon case among the justifications for secession. Albany Law School was also deeply committed to the abolitionist movement. The school's co-founder, Ira Harris, was a strong supporter of the Union cause and served as President Lincoln's close advisor throughout the war, organized Lincoln's campaign trip to Albany in 1861, and later oversaw arrangements for Lincoln's funeral procession in Albany in 1865. In 1863, Albany Law School hosted abolitionist Cassius Clay, who delivered an impassioned speech saying, "The liberation of slaves is a war measure, yet far more, it is a peace measure. If you would have peace, be just, for justice is the only peace." When war broke out, many Albany Law School students joined Union regiments as soldiers, ranging in rank from private to brigadier general. A bulletin from 1867 lists 23 students serving in military positions, or about 1/4 of the law school class. Perhaps the most famous Albany Law School graduate to have served in the Union Army was Major Henry Reed Rathbone, a member of the class of 1859. He participated in many Civil War battles and was President Lincoln's guest, seated beside him at Ford's Theater the night Lincoln was assassinated. The question before all of you is the same now, in essence, as it was before the early Albany Law School graduates and the Court of Appeals jurists. How do we adapt the law, as well as the institutions that are regulated by law, that interpret the law, and that administer the law, to meet the challenges in a way that strengthens the political and social fabric of our nation? Now, as it was then, there is no roadmap for how to answer that question. But I will suggest that your school, quite helpfully, has an unofficial motto that points the way forward. In an early autograph book, which is a precursor to what you now call a yearbook, co-founder Ira Harris wrote, "Do not live or hope with folded arms." What does that mean? Do not live or hope with folded arms. Folded arms evokes a sense of withdrawal, of assuming the role of a spectator, and of closing oneself off from connections with others. To live or hope with outstretched arms is to do the opposite, to build community, to use the well-being of others as a compass in one's decision-making, and to conjure and pursue big dreams. Coming from the pen of an attorney, the motto is a call to civic engagement and active stewardship of our governmental and legal systems, to refuse to wait for justice to arrive on its own. When Albany Law School's first class of students was graduated, preserving the Union took relentless work and boundless moral courage. Maintaining our democracy today, amid deep political division, global instability, and disruptive economic and technological change, demands nothing less. I have no doubt that each of you will do your part in carrying out Ira Harris's charge, that you will not wait for justice to arrive on its own. Because Albany Law School has given you a top-notch legal education, and more importantly, instilled in you the values of public service and the communal obligation to make our legal system and our society more just. You have many sources of inspiration in the lives and works of the alumni who've come before you, and you heard about a few of them. James Campbell Matthews, I won't repeat what your dean said, but in addition to what she described, He lobbied for a bill to protect the rights of African American teachers that eventually was signed into law by then Governor Grover Cleveland. And as you heard, he became the first African American judge in New York State. Your dean also mentioned Kate Stoneman, a member of the class of 1898. And in addition to what you just heard, the Albany Law School, shortly after her graduation and admission to the bar, issued a bulletin saying that sex is no longer a bar for admission to the school or to the bar of New York State. And throughout her lifetime, Kate Stoneman remained a prominent leader in the suffrage movement and led to efforts to secure the women's right to vote in the state. In 1918, as a poll watcher, Kate Stoneman saw New York women vote for the very first time. Another reason I'm confident you can live out Ira Harris's words is because of Albany Law's focus on state law, which is born in part of its deep relationship with the Court of Appeals. 6 past Court of Appeals judges have hailed from Albany Law School, and 2 of my sitting colleagues on the Court of Appeals, Judges Michael Garcia and Judge Shirley Troutman, are also Albany Law School graduates. As you walk the halls of the law school, you pass large banners highlighting numerous current justices of the Appellate Division and our trial courts, including my great friend, presiding justice of the Appellate Division 3rd Department, both of which the Appellate Division and our trial courts have been populated with Albany Law School graduates for the past century and a half. Scores of law school clerks have passed through the court on their way to distinguished careers in academia, the judiciary, and elsewhere. The Albany Law Review, which has a rich history of intellectual exchange with the court, has for the past 20 years hosted an annual symposium in the name of Chief Judge Lawrence Cook, class of 1938. The focus on training in state law that you've received at Albany Law School is both unusual among elite law schools and vitally important. Although federal courts receive a great and perhaps disproportionate degree of public attention and space in law school curricula, it is in state court where 98% of all lawsuits in this country are filed. And those disputes are about the most important things in people's lives, such as the custody of one's children, housing, and benefits. Moreover, as the federal judiciary continues its decades-long retrenchment of federal rights and remedies, and as modern societal and technological advances create circumstances not contemplated when the United States and state constitutions were drafted, ever-increasing space exists for independent state constitutional interpretation and amendment. It is now your opportunity and obligation to use your training to imagine and pursue avenues through which our state constitution might afford different and greater protections than what federal courts are recognizing under the U.S. Constitution, suited to the needs of tomorrow's New Yorkers. Although state constitutionalism and common law are receiving renewed focus in today's political climate, Albany law graduates have been engaged in that work for more than a century. Alton B. Parker, class of 1878 and Chief Judge of the Court of Appeals from 1898 to 1904, authored the court's decision in People v. Lochner. In that case, the Court of Appeals upheld the constitutionality of New York's Bake Shop Act of 1895, a law that made it unlawful for bake shops to employ bakers for more than 10 hours a day or 60 hours a week. The court held that the Bake Shop Act was a valid exercise of the state's police power because it protected the public good. In particular, it protected the health of people working who were being overworked in bakeries. As we all know, though, that was not the end of the case. The United Supreme Court granted certiorari, and in 1905, it issued one of its worst-regarded decisions in history, invalidating the Bake Shop Act because, in its words, it necessarily interfered with the right of contract between the employer and employees. 30 years later, the U.S. Supreme Court recognized that Chief Judge Parker had been right and buried its Lochner decision and the era of federal judicial overreach bearing its name. Incidentally, Chief Judge Parker remains the only Chief Judge of the New York State Court of Appeals to have run for President of the United States, at least so far. 120 years ago, when Chief Judge Parker authored the court's decision, the U.S. legal system had no previous experience in regulating the health and welfare of workers. Indeed, it was not too far removed from a time when slavery and indentured servitude were the norm and had been legal and often described as beneficial to the enslaved persons. Happily, legislatures may now pass labor laws that protect the public welfare, but with the advent of the internet age, with remote work, the gig economy, and generative artificial intelligence, somewhat echoing the challenges of the advent of the industrial age, we find ourselves in a similar time of flux where the legal rules appropriate to old ways of doing things do not neatly fit the times ahead. As of today, you are no longer law students. You are the newest stewards of a 175-year-old covenant between Albany Law School and those in our state and nation who seek justice. Those who sat in the seats before you, Union soldiers, Major Rathbone, James Campbell Matthews, Kate Stoneman, did not have the benefit of hindsight. They did not know their efforts would prevail. Chief Judge Parker did not know that time would vindicate his decision. Your predecessors knew only that they had an obligation to use their legal training to make our society more equitable, more inclusive, more just. The greatest highlight of today's ceremony is that each of you, through the hard work and dedication that brought you here, is now a graduate of law school with a unique role in the history and future of New York. The second greatest highlight, though, is that with comparatively little amount of work that went into the preparation of my remarks, I can now call myself a graduate of Albany Law School as well. But as of today, you and I carry the prestige of Albany Law School, yes, but more importantly, we carry on its tradition and spirit of active courage. Do not be spectators to the inequities of our time. Do not expect justice to arrive on its own or for our democracy to maintain itself. Do not live or hope with folded arms. Keep your arms wide open to grasp and mold the future and to ensure that our state's laws and institutions befit the future. And once again, thank you and congratulations to you all.
Thank you, Chief Judge Wilson. On behalf of our students and everyone here, thank you for your incredibly inspirational words and all that you do for Albany Law School throughout the year. It's an honor to have you here today. I now have the pleasure of actually speaking to something that Chief Judge Wilson just spoke to, him being a graduate of Albany Law School. So I have the pleasure of conferring an honorary Albany Law School degree on our commencement speaker, Chief Judge Wilson. So could I please ask you to come back to the podium? Albany Law School proudly confers the degree of Doctor of Honors honoris causa upon Chief Judge Rowan D. Wilson in recognition of his exceptional leadership, profound legal intellect, and steadfast commitment to justice in the state of New York. As Chief Judge of the New York State Court of Appeals, Chief Judge Wilson has distinguished himself as a thoughtful and principled jurist, shaping the law with clarity, integrity, and deep respect for the importance of New York law. His opinions reflect a keen understanding of the complexities of modern society and a dedication to fairness, equality, and the protection of individual rights. Chief Judge Wilson's connection to Albany Law School reflects his enduring commitment to legal education and to mentorship. A frequent and valued presence on campus, he has generously shared his time and expertise with students as a judge for the Anthony V. Cardona Moot Court Program, a frequent guest speaker in classes, and a participant in academic symposia, including the Albany Law Review Cook State Constitutional Symposium. He's also offered remarks at law school programs and milestone celebration, engaging directly with students, faculty, and the broader legal community. Truth be told, if we mentioned every time he was at the law school, the list would be so lengthy that we would not be able to hear him, we would not have been able to hear him speak. So before ascending to the state's highest court, Judge Wilson, as you heard, built a successful career in private practice, earning recognition for his work in litigation and complex civil matters. Throughout his career, he is demonstrating an unwavering commitment to public service, to mentorship, and to the advancement of the legal profession. Judge Wilson exemplifies both sharp intellect, genuine humility, with a keen sense of humor that reinforces confidence in the judiciary through his principled leadership. His contributions embodied the highest ideals of the legal profession and the enduring values of Albany Law School. So congratulations. I'm sure they'll want us to. You guys over here. Thank you so much. What an honor for Albany Law School. Okay, now for the part that I know many of you have been waiting for, the conferring of the degrees. For this, I would like to invite Chair Grossman to the center podium, Dean Queenan to the side podium, as well as our faculty hooders to take their places. Our hooders today are Professor Daniel Bolana, Professor Dale Cheka, yes, I know, Professor Dale Cheka, Professor Kanika Johar, and Professor Evelyn Tenenbaum. So a quick note of congratulations to our four hooders. Yesterday, the Albany Law Board of Trustees approved a promotion to Associate Professor of Law for Professors Bolana, Johar, Cheka, and Caitlin Lewis. And a promotion to Distinguished Professor of Law for Professor Tenenbaum. So please, yes. So congratulations to them all, and I will now turn the floor over to Dean Queen.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. It is now my honor to present the candidates for the Master of Laws degree. Would the LL.M. candidate please stand? Chair Grossman, for conferring of the LL.M. degrees, I present this candidate.
Thank you, Dean Queenan. Under the authority vested by the Regents of the University of the State of New York and the trustees of Albany Law School, and by them and me, I declare that the Master of Laws degrees about to be awarded are rightly and duly conferred upon successful completion of all degree requirements, and they conveyed to the worthy individuals on whom they are conferred all the rights, privileges, and obligations immemorially due the academic community. LL.M. students, please come forward.
Paul Marie Ellie Bob. The following LL.M. students are in absentia: Jennifer Chung, Mark A. Exie, Mallory M. Henninger, Maya Jacob, Jose Alberto Nieves Santiago, Zaith M. Saudi, and Elena Taniakova. Please join me in a round of applause and congratulations to the LL.M. graduates. It is now my honor to present the candidates for the Master of Science degree. Would the MS candidates please stand? Chair Grossman, for conferring of the MS degrees, I present these candidates.
Thank you, Dean Queenan. Under the authority vested by the Regents of the University of the State of New York and the trustees of Albany Law School, and by them and me, I declare that the Master of Science degree about to be awarded are rightly and duly conferred upon successful completion of all degree requirements, and they conveyed to the worthy individuals on whom they are conferred all the rights, privileges, and obligations immemorially due the academic community. Master of Science students, please come forward.
Ann S. Alcazar. Sue DeBenny Barney, in absentia. John J. Blakey. Noelle Hope Burlew. Gregory E. Carwheel, in absentia. Jorge Chica. Natalie J. Christian, in absentia. April DeArmit. Emily T. DeArmit. Hannah E. Gonzalez. Meredith J. Gorman Smith, in absentia. Salima Harrison Ramsey. Marcia Marcy Hill. Sabrina Gendrasiak and family. Jennifer Cromer. Glafira Lob. Kristen McManus. Isaac Thomas Melville. Tabitha Ann J. Moore, in absentia. Angelo Munoz Espino. Karen H. Niedermeyer, in absentia. Tracy Lynn Notar. Audra K. Olson. Louis F. Quintero. Nicole Marie Rodinas, in absentia. Josephine Roman and family. Kendra L. Rusas, in absentia. Kathleen Ann Verbicki. And Tina Marie Williams. Congratulations to the MS graduates. It is now my honor to present the candidates for the Juris Doctor degree. Would the JD candidates please stand? Chair Grossman, for conferring of the JD degree, I present these candidates.
Thank you, Dean Queenan. Under the authority vested by the Regents of the University of the State of New York and the trustees of Albany Law School, and by them and me, I declare that the Juris Doctor degrees about to be awarded are rightly and duly conferred upon successful completion of all degree requirements, and they convey to the worthy individuals on whom they are conferred all the rights, privileges, and obligations immemorially due to the academic community. Row A, please move forward. All remaining rows may be seated until your row is called.
Melina Almeida. Justin Aragosa. Ambreen Aslam. Matthias L. Baylard. Destiny J. Barbosa. Allison May Beckwith. Kenza Belhachmi. David Joseph Bell. Kyle E. Beverly. Nicholas J. Bafano. Sophie J. Boldeston. John Brady. Abigail Breakwell. Taylor A. Brooks. Ethan B. Brown. Mackenzie Catherine Brown. Skylar K. Carr. Matthew J. Carroll. Joseph L. Case. Caitlin Chambers. Joseph C. Christiana in absentia. Evan M. Clement. Stephen C. Colligan. Corey Joseph Correo.
Congratulations.
Kamiko Dabney. Conrad Cook Dolland. Domenico L. D'Angelo. Rebecca Daniel. Jacqueline Christine DeCady. Hopi Eve Marie DeLeon. Michaela DeLuca. Lorena V. Diaz Hermes. Patricia E. Diaz Romero. Elizabeth M. Dion. Ian G. Doyne. Megan R. Dooley. Aiden Demansky. Chase Patrick Donahue. Nicholas A. Eastman. Chandler Hamilton Edbauer. K.C. Edick. Candace Alicia Ernai. Theo James Etzinger. Brendan P. Fallon. Andrew M. Fay. Mariana Fetishin Burgess. Carl J. Ferrara. William F. Fleming. Olivia J. Ford. Audrey A. Fountain. Sarah Pauline Frankel. William J. French. Samuel Cole Freund. Tanner Easley Thomas Froats. Victor Kernan Gelfuso. Kylie M. Gilbride. Stephen Giorgiani. Gabriel V. Geralt and family. Catherine Geeney.
Congratulations.
Andrew Gluckman. Abby H. Goldfarb. Thomas James Grenier. Kerrigan Gregory. Carolyn E. Guaman. Austin Luke Garisco. Nancy M. Garino. Ethan D. Guillaume. Andreas Paul Gukaisen.
Congratulations.
Joshua M. Hacker. Abby Murphy Harrington. Madison Sophia Hartman. Kyle J. Hastings. Emily Ann Hathaway. Megan L. Heaney. Tessa Hilt. Alice Holliger. Charlotte Leanne Huther. Quinn Hughes. D. James Houston in absentia. Ember Yan. Jasmine B.C. Jordan Phipps. Alexander F. Jennings. Hisu G. Alexandra N. Johnson. Salma Juarez. Rachel Elizabeth Judge. Davis C. Cakeley. Chloe Kangarloo. Joseph Daniel Kelly. Victoria L. Kiesel. Yeji Kim. Yuri Kim. Lynn Y. Kojo and family. David B. Lakowitz. Joseph A. Lazaro. Joanne Jojo Lee in absentia. Janelle Marie Leon. Samantha L. Laux. Jonelli M. Lozano. Thomas J. McGuire. Avampal Mann. Alexander J. Marciniak. Ivana A. Morensel. Madison Jane Marshall. Catherine Mary Madeline Martin. Megan F. Martucci. Haley G. Marticello. Abby J. Mason. Harrison Mattia. Nathan T. Madison. Nathaniel J. McCabe. In absentia. Tyler J. McCarthy. Tara McCoy. Damian H. Mendez and family. Elena Meyer. Jesse Miller. Cody James Mills. Morgan Mirchev. Jillian D. Moore. Rachel S. Moskowitz. Kevin S. Mulvey. Vidusha S. Nataraja. Brianna M. Nagangas McHale. Brandon Wynn. Jill Marie Nixon. Danita B. Nyantaki. Justin Ox. Joseph J. Oganoski. Abigail Ohm. Vincent T. O'Neill. Stephen Orantes. Christian A. Osborne. Emre Furkan Osahan. Frank Pasella. Marco D. Palumbo. Savannah Peavy. Erin Catherine Pepe. Gustavo Perez. Derek M. Perez. Nicholas Perkowski. Joshua D. Pearson in absentia. Grace Ann Porter. Michael R. Palopoulos and family. Samantha A. Poyer. Matthew Francis Prete. John Jack Rainey. Tristan A. Ramsdale. Alexa V. Riley. Mackenzie G. Rendo. Joseph Rich. Molly Midler Ridley. Brooke C. Rashika. Justin C. Rodriguez. Jessica B. Rosenthal. Roland A. Rupp IV in absentia. Nicholas Russo. Mason Sanders. Gianna Andrea Santarelli. Nicholas Scavone Ulinski. Joseph K. Schultz. Brianne N. Skoka. Kayla Bianca Seeley. Samiksha Salochan. Grace Catherine Scambatera. Thomas Stephen Schaefer. Nicholas Throckmorton Shannon. Amy Catherine Shepard. Christopher Sherman. Morgan J. Schultes. Vishal Singh. Alexandra A. Spernova. Carolyn Grace Smith. Tiffany Stavrakis. Kylie D. Stives in absentia. Luke Strassner. Jacob I. Saeed in absentia. Luna Tan. Delicia Thomas. Nathan Taylor and family. Bryson Tobolsky in absentia. Cambria Tremaldi.
So good to see you. Thank you.
Nicholas James Truax. Alexandria Thomas. Alessia Tuminelli. Lauren A. Van Wagener. Andrew P. Velez. Dana A. Wakeman. Michael R. Walsh. Kevin M. Waltz. Adam B. Weber. Lauren A. Welch. Daniel Raymond Wilson, in absentia. Bradley E. Wazinski. And Nicole L. Yakimic. Congratulations to the class of 2026.
All right. It is now my pleasure to introduce Christian Osborne, president of the class of 2026.
How we doing? Distinguished faculty, staff, family members and friends, honored guests, and most importantly, the class of 2026. First, on behalf of the graduating class, I want to extend our deepest gratitude to Dean Carlarne, as well as to all of our professors and every single member of the faculty and staff that got us to this moment. Law school is surprisingly not that easy. There were a lot of late nights, some tough readings, and some debilitating cold calls. But it's thanks to your guys' guidance, patience, and dedication to us that we've arrived at this moment today. We're here, and we're ready to take on what's next. To our families, friends, and loved ones, thank you for supporting us, encouraging us, believing in us, and just giving us the basic reminders to eat something or get some rest. This achievement belongs to you as much as it belongs to us. I would like to briefly mention our class gift. Every year, the graduating class leaves behind a gift to the school that serves as a symbol not only of our gratitude, but of our legacy. This year, we raised $1,044.89 for our class gift, and after collectively voting as a class, we've decided to dedicate the funds to a section of new and comfortable seating in the cafeteria that will serve as our lasting contribution to the school for the years ahead. And now I would like to address my fellow classmates. Over the last few years, we have watched each other grow tremendously. Many of us came into this chapter of our lives coming from completely different backgrounds and experiences, in which most of us not knowing a single person. And along the way, through some shared stress and panic and a little mutual encouragement, we became a community. And many of us have become very good friends with people that we would have never met had we not come to Albany Law School. And I am very grateful for that. And I'm very grateful to have arrived at this incredible milestone with all of you. And what's so exciting is that the end of this chapter marks the beginning of a new one. I see future prosecutors, defense attorneys, judges, business leaders, and policymakers that will undoubtedly make change in people's lives for the years ahead. And I do genuinely believe that this graduating class is going to go on and do amazing things. And I cannot wait to see what we accomplish. Now, before I conclude, there is one person who deserves special recognition this morning. Sometimes the people who make the biggest impact aren't only the ones standing behind a podium teaching a classroom. They're the ones working tirelessly behind the scenes to make sure every student feels encouraged, supported, and taken care of every single day. This person always greets everyone with a smile on her face. I have never seen her upset or without a smile walking through the hallway. She has been a consistent source of positivity and support, not only throughout our time here the past few years, but through her decades of service to Albany Law School. People remember how you make them feel, and she is a model example of this. So, on behalf of the graduating class, it is my honor to help present an award to someone who not only has been an incredibly important part of our law school experience, but has made the school a better place simply by being herself. So it is my honor to present the 2026 Friend of the Class Award to Sherry Meyer.
Now it's my honor to welcome the President of the National Alumni Association, Benjamin Wolf, class of 2004.
I'd done that thing where I practice this a bunch in the mirror like I do before oral argument, and then Judge Wilson came in hot saying that he was reading it in 12-point font, and I'm reading it in like 30, so my goal now is if I'm ever before him and before the Court of Appeals, I'm going to read my opening statement in 6-point font. All right, good morning, class of 2026, and congratulations on becoming our newest members of the Albany Law School National Alumni Association. Before I begin my remarks, I would invite you to join me in a moment of silence to honor those members of the Albany Law School family that we lost this year. Okay, I have a disclaimer. These remarks were written by me, not AI. And other than my experiences in law school while at Graney's or at TGIFs in the Albany Law School courtyard, I assure you there are no hallucinations here. Today marks a significant milestone in your journey. As president of the National Alumni Association, I am honored to welcome you into our alumni community. I'm going to keep my remarks brief because this day is truly about you, this incredible accomplishment you've done, and spending quality time today with those you love who encouraged and supported you along the way. As a consumer protection and class action litigator, I learned long ago at Albany Law School that a jury's attention span is short, so get to the critical part of your case out early. If you can indulge me, please take out your cell phones, class of 2026. I know you all have them, and certainly your parents do. Okay? Add this number to your contacts. 646-492-5219. Again, 646-492-5219. That is my office number. If you remember nothing else from these remarks, please remember that number. Why? Why is this stranger with a not-so-faint, downstate, Long Island accent giving us his number? Because I would run through a wall for an Albany Law School student or alumnus, and so will our Alumni Association. Albany Law School, thank you for the one clap. There's an outside chance my mom is watching this online, so I know it's not her. Albany Law School believed in me and invested in me when I did not believe in myself and was not achieving my true potential. Albany Law School not only threw every possible resource at me to make sure I graduated, incredibly 22 years ago, and passed 3 state bar exams on the first try, but more importantly, that I was and continue to be a good lawyer. Albany Law School had every reason to give up on me, but did not. The Alumni Association consists of people like me, some a little more subdued, who are fiercely loyal and protective of this school. They are here for you as you take on the bar exam, the start of your career, and any job or career shifts. So long as I'm not an oral argument, a deposition, or trial, call that number, and I will brush everything on my desk aside to help someone from Albany Law School, and so will members of the Alumni Association. But this proposition goes both ways, as our Alumni Association is more than just a network. It's a living testament to the bond we share with Albany Law School. As graduates, you also now share a special honor and responsibility to uphold the legacy of excellence and service that defines this institution. In a world that is constantly evolving, our commitment to this alma mater remains a powerful and lasting connection. Remember, as members of the National Alumni Association, you have a voice in shaping the future of our school. Your ideas, involvement, and contributions are essential as we work together to advance the mission of Albany Law School and its community. As you step into the world as lawyers, government leaders, executives, and influencers, I encourage you to pay it forward. Stay connected to your alma mater, share your successes, and offer mentorship and opportunities to the next generation. As you begin your careers, remember that Albany Law School is more than just a degree. It's a network, a legacy, and a tradition. Today, you join nearly 11,000 alumni who have made their mark in a wide range of fields. But more importantly, you become stewards of our shared values and traditions. Congratulations once again on this momentous occasion. Welcome to the Albany Law School National Alumni Association. And one more time, 646-492-5219. Congratulations.
Thank you, Ben. He means every word that he says, and he's remarkable, as is our whole National Alumni Association and our alumni network, an incredible strength of our community. Congratulations, graduates. Congratulations, families and friends of graduates. Thank you all for being here for this much-deserved, hard-fought-for ceremony. I now need to ask that the families please remain in your seats until the recessional is completed, and we'll let all of our students exit the amphitheater. And then we'll ask that you leave one row at a time and meet your students out on the lawn, and I hope you will notice that the sun is shining. And once you get out into the sunny atmosphere, we can celebrate with some champagne at our pavilion. This has been a wonderful day. Honestly, it's been a joyful day, and we all need more joy in our lives. And so I want to say thank you for that. It's been a privilege sharing today's ceremony with the law school community, our families, and our friends. And we really, really are so incredibly proud of the Albany Law School class of 2026. And with this, I hereby close the 175th Commencement of Albany Law School.